This video is on the Spirit Halloween 2019 Arctic Dragon. I got this used from a place that does a huge Halloween here in the Detroit area, but he also owns a bike shop, and I had an old bike that I don't ride anymore, a city bike, like halfway between a racing bike and a mountain bike. And at 61, it's going to be 62, I barely ride, and I got an old cruiser that I ride with fenders and big tires. So he mentioned, he had an Arctic Dragon that he was, willing to get rid of. He has other dragons. And I'm like, well, a dragon is one thing I don't have. And I mentioned I got an old bike, very nice bike that I don't use. So we made an even trade for it. So I'm happy. He's happy. That bike, sold for about $700. I think the Arctic Dragon sold for, I believe it was $299. There are other dragons. Spirits made some. There are winter dragons and black dragons and other colored dragons. And this one I think is considered the smaller, a little bit smaller than some of the later ones. But Spirit Arctic Dragon, his wings flap. His head moves, his eyes light up, and he's fog compatible, where if you hook him up to a fog machine, he blows fog out his mouth. And I think that, the thing that sets him off is if you do it with fog. If he's cool without the fog, but he's much, much, much cooler with the fog effect. And I got the fog hooked up to that machine with the skeleton on it, just a little 400 watt cheapie, which is plenty, and it came with this fog hose and that little reservoir. Some new props I bought came with that, so I guess that helps out the fog when it throws it out there. And I got a fog activator cable. Actually, I made that one out of a fog switch. I put in a relay in it, so the relay turns on the juice to the fog machine, and the power coming from that relay cord turns on the relay in that. Since I couldn't find or enough fog activation cables on my own, so I made a few, and I dug out this here fog machine purposely to show that I probably got 20 fog machines now, and I've had bad luck with these, where you're taking the fog juice out the top there. That's what this hole's for. This hose sits down in the tank, near the bottom, hopefully, and it sucks the juice out the top and then back down into the fog machine. And I've had bad luck with these because the hose is a lot longer on these, and it's got to suck it out the top. Whereas on these, the hose is internal only, and it's at the bottom of the tank. So this one will run, until the tank empties, kind of like a gas tank on a car. Where this one, if you don't have that hose all the way at the bottom, if it slips up a little bit, you might have it half full or a quarter full of fog juice, but it's going to be sucking air because that hose isn't laying on the bottom of the tank. And also, one of the common problems with fog machines is that the hose gets clogged up. And I guess obviously this hose is much, much longer than the hose in this that's from the bottom of the tank to the mechanism, inch or two, where this one is, probably closer to about 10 inches, to get there. So I personally dislike these kind of fog machines where the hose comes out the top, and I like these fog machines where the hose come out the bottom. The reason I think they do that is cost. It's cheaper just to get a longer hose and pull it out the top and have a sealed tank with no hole in the bottom, where with this one you had to physically make a hole in the bottom of this tank. And also you had to, have some kind of way to seal the hose coming out the bottom of the tank going into the mechanism. And that costs a little bit more money, not much, but a little bit more money than doing it that way. So I prefer these. Don't like these, even though, you know, if I find them cheap, I'm gonna buy them anyway. So anyway, let's get back to the Artic Dragon here. Hopefully everything is still hooked up and warmed up. And turn him on, and there he goes. That's a 400 watt fog machine. And I'm inside my house. Outside, that fog would disperse a lot more and better. But you know, people say, how many watts do I need for a fog machine for a prop? And I always say 400 watt is plenty. Even if it's outside for a prop. And that's all he does. It has the normal accoutrements. Turned him off. Step pad, volume control, external speaker jack. Made by SVI, Seasons Visions, one of my favorite prop makers. I think he's decently made, you know, for what he does. And I like him. I like this prop a lot. And I would give him an 8, maybe a 9 on a 1 to 10. The Spirit Halloween Artic Dragon. Bye.